Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. Most of you have never heard of Michelle Cottle, and I was tempted to let it stay that way, but I can't. She's a liberal New York Times editorial writer. Hang on, that might be redundant. In any event, she's upset that the wives of Republican candidates are appearing in television ads for their husbands. She's so upset, she wrote about it in a very high-minded piece, which included such useful insights as gag and spare me. No, she doesn't write for Teen Vogue. She writes for the New York Times. And one of her outrages is that Casey DeSantis would appear in an ad for her husband, Ron DeSantis. Now, Michelle Cottle refers to Ron DeSantis as authoritarian and Trumpy. I wonder how many times, if ever, Michelle Cottle has met Governor DeSantis. Has she ever talked to him, ever spent any time with him? I doubt it, which strikes me as kind of strange that she, who doesn't know Ron at all, feels empowered to use code words for fascism to describe him. But God forbid Casey DeSantis say a word about the man she's been married to for over a decade and has 3 children with. Isn't that strange? People who don't know a candidate are free to comment on that candidate, but those who do cannot. The New York Times has a very different way of looking at life and logic for many of us. And speaking of which, do you know the last Republican presidential candidate that paper endorsed? I want you to think hard because it was a long time ago, like half a century ago. Dwight David Eisenhower is the last Republican candidate for president the New York Times deemed worthy of your vote. Not Ronald Reagan, not even the 3 presidents who actually won New York. Nope. General Eisenhower is the last Republican worthy of your vote. The New York Times likes Senator McCain, but not presidential candidate McCain. And they like Senator Romney, but not presidential candidate Romney. Not a single Republican candidate for president in my lifetime has been deemed worthy of your vote. And the Times wonders where this belief in media bias comes from. 1984, Ronald Reagan was up for re-election. The opening line of the Times endorsement editorial read, in part, like this: "We're for Walter Mondale, even though Ronald Reagan has done a good job." Turns out not many other people were for Walter Mondale. He lost 49 out of 50 states, winning only his home state of Minnesota, and even that was pretty close. The Electoral College count was 525 to 13. Reagan won the popular vote by nearly 20 percentage points. If you like unity and the country coming together, you should have loved 1984. I don't think we'll ever see a presidential candidate unify the country like Reagan did in 1984. And even then, it was the Times and Minnesota on the other side. We hear the phrase anti-democratic a lot from the writers at the New York Times. Some might argue that when you are on the other side of 525 electoral votes, you might be anti-democratic. So I'll save you the mystery. The Times will endorse the Democrat candidate for president from now until the end of time. And we will continue not to care. Turning to things we do care about, have you ever wondered whether people notice your acts of kindness? When you let someone in line in traffic, do they remember? When you help someone with their luggage on a flight or hold a door for someone, does it register? Axios posed that question to its readers, and the answer is an overwhelming yes. People remember, and for much longer than you might think. In some cases, a seemingly small act of kindness was remembered for decades. So the gist is this: there are no small acts of kindness, not to the recipient at least. If you're at the store and someone is putting things back because money is short, help them out. Their recollection of your kindness will last far longer than the money you spent. And if you aren't sure whether to offer to help someone get a stroller off the airplane while they're holding their children, do it. It's kind, and it leaves a memory. If you're in the drive-thru and you have a little change left over, apply it to the person in the car behind you. If you want to be remembered for a long time, it turns out running for office or being famous isn't the way to do it. Being kind will leave a longer legacy. Finally, tonight, thinking of things that last. I spent a week at the beach with my family, staring at the ocean and trying to convince my wife that I didn't really need any seashells. I haven't lost any seashells, so why would I go looking for them? But she prevailed. She likes to look for seashells, so off I went. The beach can teach us a lot about how fast life moves and how small we are in the grand scheme of things, and most importantly, what really matters. 50 years ago, I was walking South Carolina beaches with my grandmother as she was looking for seashells, and it seems like the blink of an eye. Everything changed except the things that haven't and likely won't ever change. Staring at the ocean is good for the soul. The ocean is so vast and so anonymous and so overwhelming. What we dwell on, what we worry about, what occupies our time, the ocean doesn't care about. It was here before us, and it will be here long after the footprints of our life have washed away. The ocean ebbs and it flows without any concern for politics or finances or time. We live in a world consumed with social media, with instant gratification, with what others think, and with clicks and likes, and the ocean doesn't care about any of that. Turns out family vacation isn't really about seashells or the ocean or the footprints. It's about the people we look for those shells with, the people we stare at the ocean alongside, the footprints of those we walk beside. Yes, the beach can make us feel small, but that's okay. The smallness is more than overcome by the significance of those we share the beach with. Parts of nature can humble us. And then there is family, which gives us all the power we need.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.